Poetry number 11. This was done also on December 4th, 2017. Must have spent a lot of time writing before I did all these. The people we have so far helped, it is a funny thing. They come to us, shit on by the world, with nowhere left to turn, and it is truly an amazing thing to watch their faith in humanity be restored. But there's always one, maybe two or three, that you can tell have not had their faith restored, even when everyone around them has. These people bring the world's wrath upon themselves and have no faith in themselves, thus cannot have faith in anything. Stranger still is to find out that you yourself are one of these people, and strangest of all is when your faith in humanity is just one day restored and you can finally look at yourself in the mirror again. I was homeless for like 7, 8 years, 5, 6 years. I don't even know how long. I have no idea. I wrote this when I was homeless, and that was in 2017. So, but yeah, I've often lost my faith in people and had it restored. You know, not always, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. Arriving at the end, the mystery becomes where the beginning went. Once back at the beginning, we wonder where the end is. Did it ever occur to you that what we search for in this cycle, are one and the same, and that it will suddenly surprise us from behind before we ever find it? Every end is just a new beginning, you know? It's amazing sometimes. You think everything's over, everything's falling apart, and then you're just kind of renewed. It's just like, whoa. I went from having no faith to having some faith. Okay, thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. Number 13. This was published December 4th, 2017. I did a lot of publishing that day. Holy smokes. Remembrance Day is a strange day because the spirits follow us and we forget that it works both ways. They remember us as much as we remember them. We might forget, but they never do. They come as they go, as they once remember, and as you are, maybe sitting with a group of friends they wish to join us, but cannot. Curiously, never have I felt the spirit of a soldier on Remembrance Day, and so they must all congregate somewhere, called in the same way we are called to remember. This is when I used to think I was like psychic. I was like going through an episode of mental illness that was pretty bad. But yeah, if that's the way those spirits are, maybe they have their own Remembrance Day too. You never know. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. Welcome to poetry number 14. This one's pretty short, it looks like. The individual is a conglomerate of their environment, their experiences. Such a strange idea, the individual, when there is truly nothing actually individual about the individual, except what we are born with. Birthed an individual, directed only to become anything but. Huh. Well, that's an interesting one. There you go. I guess we're all anything but individual to a certain extent. And we enjoy it that way. We like being around other people, usually. I don't always, but, you know. Anyways, thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. Welcome to Poetry 15. Let's see what we got here. There is no greater deception than perfection. To the eye unknowing, perfection is pleasing, effective, and almost needed. To the knowing, however, perfection is a front, a lie, and a smokescreen, concealing something that the perfecter has insecurity about and would rather leave buried in lies than address. Out of sight, out of mind, bury it with perfection until the beast unearths itself and the onlookers become satisfied with what the perfection has birthed, thinking it was created by it, unknowing that the only fabrication was the perfection hiding the beast, caging it from the real world like an overprotective parent, trying to preserve an innocent doomed to perversion. Damn. Yeah, this is why I don't strive to have perfect stuff or do perfect things. I don't know. Perfection's a lie. Effort isn't a lie, and it's important to put in effort. But perfection is kind of another story. Okay, thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. Okay, let's check out Poetry 16. Still got that same published date of December 4th. Oh boy. Mind on the pussy, human nature. Life lived easy, human nature. Great feelings after fulfilling our dull, unnecessary survival instincts as our minds reward us for eating once we are overweight. Human nature. Living without stress, ignorance, human nature. Social circles, alienation, human nature. Shelter, safety, human nature. The expectation is that we live beyond, even without the nature we are born with, denying all we know, to metamorphosize, to accept transcendence. But into what? I'm not too sure about that one. That one's not hitting too good. Maybe you guys can make more sense of this one than I can, even though I'm the one who wrote it. I think so. Okay, thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. Welcome. This is poetry number 17. Hunger salivating, window shopper they call me, without anything of my own except eyes that scan everything you have, looking for something to call mine. Hands empty, I'll take anything, but hands full, I'll take everything. Huh. Hands empty, I'll take anything, but hands full, I'll take everything. Hmm. Again, another one that's kind of perplexing me a little bit. Maybe I'm not on my poetry game today. Yeah. Okay, thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. Okay, this is poetry number 18. Pregnant, very. She walks, staring at any potential suitor, trying to catch an eye. Smiling, she has my attention, if only for a second. Honestly, my base, immature inner voice says, looks like the fun part is over. And my developed, mature voice says, conflicting, looks like the fun, fulfilling part is about to begin. Sometimes I want to fully embrace either voice, but I think both usually wield semi valid points. Problematic idea of people interjecting their opinions between the two voices. Their perspective, a logical response to an illogical action. Your opinion is not needed, and if it is, it certainly has to have my needs in mind, and if it does not, the opinion is no longer rational, thus not needed. Only wanted to be expressed and heard, strangely. Yeah, we all have a couple inner voices, and sometimes they can enter conflict with each other. It's just what it is. That's an interesting one. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. Poetry 19. Let's take a look. In the newspaper truly meant to inform? I wonder why it is not published with just the facts as well as encouragement to form your own opinion. rather than being informed of the writers? Is the goal of the writer to control the narrative? I believe narrative is a thing of context. Let me ask you, what is the context of your perspective? Who is providing the narrative to you? You? I bet you'd like to think so. I think this just speaks to the idea that we're constantly being influenced by the things around us in a very uh, in a very purposeful way. This is like you being influenced is not an accident. It's something that they're intentionally doing. Okay, thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. This is gonna be the last one, Poetry 20. Last one for this video, anyways. Here they come crawling out of the woodworks. Can you hear the twigs break, their nails scrape as they crawl their way out of the narrow gaps in the factory? Skin stained, dirt littered hair, and empty bellies. They just came up for some fresh air, they exclaim as they sniff out the feast they had no part of until they find it, asking, "Can I have some?" And how quickly they retreat back below once denied as if the boss was calling their name. That's me. That's me in the woodworks. That's me. That's 100% me in the woodworks. Okay, thank you for listening. Like and subscribe.